Welcome to this edition of the El Segundo City Council Recap. I'm your host, Tolly Anderson. Let's recap the items presented to the El Segundo City Council at their January 21st, 2025 meeting. During the consent agenda, Councilmember Baldino requested clarification on the automatic aid and exchange of services agreement between the El Segundo Fire Department and the City of Los Angeles Department. After discussion, City Council approved the item along with the remaining items on the consent agenda. City Council held a public hearing to consider a resolution approving the use of Community Development Block Grant funds for the installation of Americans with Disabilities Act compliant curb ramps. City Council adopted the resolution. During staff presentations, Human Resources Director Rebecca Reddick presented revisions to the city job classifications, exam plans, and salary ranges for the public works inspectors and engineering technician positions. City Council approved the revisions and adopted a resolution to modify the salary ranges. Deputy City Manager Barbara Voss and Communications Consultant Kristen Bergevin presented city brand guidelines, which establish standards for the city's visual identity. Ms. Voss introduced an ordinance amending the El Segundo Municipal Code to update the city logo, associated use regulations, and penalties for violations. City Council approved the brand guidelines, waived the first reading, introduced the ordinance, and scheduled the second reading for February 4th, 2025. Assistant City Attorney Joaquin Vasquez presented the first reading of an ordinance amending the El Segundo Municipal Code to increase staff and management's procurement and signature authority and adjust procurement thresholds consistent with California Assembly Bill 2192. After discussion, Council did not approve the increase in staff and management's procurement and signature authority, but approved the adjustments to procurement thresholds consistent with California Assembly Bill 2192 and approved the addition of federal procurement regulations for procurement involving federal funds. The second reading of this item is scheduled for February 4th, 2025. Chief Financial Officer Paul Chung presented an update to the city's investment policy statement proposing the addition of cryptocurrency to the city's 115 trust programs. After discussion, the council voted against revising the policy. Assistant City Attorney Vasquez presented a legislative update which included summary of select laws most likely to impact El Segundo and its residents. City Council received and filed the update. Deputy City Manager Barbara Voss presented the 2025 legislative platform, which represents official city positions on future proposed legislation. Mayor Pimentel requested the removal of the public safety item related to assets forfeiture funds. City Council approved the legislative platform as amended. City Manager Daryl George requested authorization to accept a $322,500 grant for upgrades to the city's Emergency Operations Center and execute any agreement or associated documents to effectuate receipt of the grant. City Council unanimously approved the request. Fire Chief George Avery and Battalion Chief Evan Sefke requested approval to purchase a replacement ladder truck in an amount not to exceed $2,092,702, utilizing funding that has been set aside over the last 10 years in the Equipment Replacement Fund. After discussion, City Council approved the purchase of the replacement ladder truck. The Director of Recreation, Parks, and Library, Ali Mancini, presented a review of the Cultural Development Program. Director Mancini requested direction from City Council on potential modifications to the program. City Council proposed the following modifications: add a $1 million cap on the fee, allow applicants to divide the fee between installing art on site and paying the difference in the in lieu fee, and allow applicants to pay the fee prior to issuing the certificate of occupancy rather than prior to issuing the building permit. Staff will return to Council at a future meeting to request an amendment to the ordinance that established the program and fee. Assistant City Attorney Joaquin Vasquez presented a resolution to confirm the rules and regulations in the City Manager Administrative Order issued on January 14, 2025 to address Los Angeles County fire-related emergencies. City Council adopted the resolution. For more details about the order, visit elsegundo.org/fire support. Mayor Chris Pimentel announced the appointments of Jason Heffley, Elizabeth Kennedy, Nicole Lasso, and Michelle Leach to the Arts and Culture Advisory Committee, and Christabel Valina, Emily Atmore, and Allison Mitrovich to the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. Mayor Pimentel announced draft council member assignments to various intergovernmental agencies, local agencies, and subcommittees. Finally, City Manager Daryl George gave a brief update on the Hyperion treatment plant. City staff and Dr. Sennstrom met with a company that developed a new technology to remove odor at wastewater treatment facilities. Over the past month, SCAQMD received approximately 64 odor complaints. A notice of violation was issued for public nuisance on December 19, 2024. AQMD staff are investigating fence line hydrogen sulfide spikes that occurred during the facility-wide power outage on January 8, 2025. Information about Hyperion can be found on the city's website at www.elsegundo.org/Hyperion. To watch the complete City Council meeting for January 21, 2025 and learn more about the agenda items covered, visit elsegundo.org or watch the meeting on Channel 3. The next meeting will be Tuesday, February 4th.